Hello, Manchester United are making big moves. A shocking £93 million transfer twist, Ten Hag's massive sacking cost, and Antony's revenge. This is one you don't want to miss. Manchester United reveal shocking cost of sacking Erik Ten Hag and Dan Ashworth. Man United have released their accounts for the final 3 months of 2024, and it includes details of the payoffs for Erik Ten Hag and Dan Ashworth. Manchester United paid £14.5 million to sack Erik Ten Hag and his backroom staff and sporting director Dan Ashworth. It has been revealed in the club's latest financial figures. United released their accounts for the final 3 months of 2024, and it includes the compensation figures for Ten Hag and his backroom staff, as well as Ashworth, who left the club in December after only 5 months in the role. United considered sacking Ten Hag in the summer, only to opt to keep him after their FA Cup triumph and extend his contract. When this season started poorly, they did a U-turn and sacked the Dutchman after a 2-1 defeat to West Ham United in October. René Hake, Gel Ten Rouwelaar and Peter Morel also left after Ten Hag's dismissal, as did Ruud van Nistelrooy after his 4-game spell as caretaker manager. They were handed payoffs of around £10.4 million, while the cost of Ashworth's exit after his spell at Old Trafford came to an abrupt end was £4.1 million. That figure includes his severance package and the cost of hiring him from Newcastle in the first place, which was thought to be around £2.5 million. United ended months of negotiations with Newcastle United to finally appoint Ashworth on July 1st, but he left the club in December after his relationship with Sir Jim Ratcliffe soured. Those payoffs will add to the estimated £60 million that has been spent on sacking managers and their backroom staff since Sir Alex Ferguson retired in May 2013, taking the total spent on sacking managers to £70 million in just over 10 years. In June 2022, United's end-of-year accounts revealed exceptional costs of £24.7 million, which went on compensation to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Ralf Rangnick and some of their backroom teams. United paid around £5 million to David Moyes and his backroom team when he was dismissed, and £8.4 million to Louis van Gaal after he was sacked following his FA Cup triumph in 2016. When Jose Mourinho was sacked in December 2018, the payoff was £19.6 million. Man United have 3-step Viktor Gyokeres transfer plan as Ruben Amorim faces £93 million dilemma. Ruben Amorim will be eager to strengthen his Manchester United squad in the summer. Manchester United could still sign Viktor Gyokeres, despite last year's worrying financial results. On Wednesday morning, it was revealed that the club only made an operating profit of £3.1 million, down from £27.5 million during the same period in 2023. United forked out £14.5 million on the sackings of Erik Ten Hag and his coaching staff, as well as the hiring and then dismissing former sporting director Dan Ashworth. The club also announced that revenues had dropped to £198.7 million for the final 3 months of 2024, down from £225.8 million during the same period 12 months previously. The latest financial results show that the club owe £414 million in transfer fees to other clubs, while debts rose from £506.6 million to £515.7 million. In an official statement, Omar Barada accepted the challenges that United face on and off the pitch before putting the spotlight on the regeneration of Old Trafford. The club's chief executive said, "We recognize the challenges in improving our men's team's league position, and we are all working hard, collectively, to achieve that. At the same time, we are pleased to have progressed to the knockout phase of the UEFA Europa League and the 5th round of the FA Cup. Meanwhile, our women's team is currently placed second in the Women's Super League and has reached the quarter-finals of the FA Cup. Our redevelopment of the Carrington Training Complex remains on track. We continue to work towards a decision on the future of Old Trafford as part of a wider regeneration program. This follows the work of the Old Trafford Regeneration Task Force in demonstrating the significant economic potential of a revitalized area around a future stadium project. With the club under pressure to comply with the Premier League profit and sustainability rules (PSR) during a difficult period, they may be forced to raise funds before looking to sign somebody like Gyokeres. The 26-year-old striker has been heavily linked with a move to United since Ruben Amorim replaced Ten Hag. In fact, according to the Mirror, Gyokeres, who has an £80 million release clause, would love to move to Old Trafford, So, using figures from Transfermarkt, the Manchester Evening News has looked at who United could sell in order to raise funds for the Sweden international in the summer. Alejandro Garnacho, £41.4 million. Garnacho was heavily linked with moves to Chelsea and Napoli during the January transfer window, but a switch failed to materialize. While Amorim held on to a key player, United missed out on a brilliant chance to cash in as the 20-year-old winger's stock begins to plummet. Viewed as pure profit in the eyes of PSR, the Reds could cash in on him, having revoked his previous untouchable status. Xerxes has struggled to impress since joining United from Bologna for £36.5 million in the summer. Fortunately for Amorim's side, the 23. Man United eyeing move to sign exceptional striker, £40 million gets deal done. Manchester United are thought to be in the market for a new striker to come into their ranks in the coming summer transfer window, and they've reportedly been told it will cost around £40 million to sign emerging star Liam Delap after his breakthrough Premier League season at Ipswich Town. Delap only made 2 Premier League appearances for Manchester City in his time under Pep Guardiola, and despite a run of fleeting championship loan spells, it's been this season at Portman Road where he's finally taken off. Already in double figures, that's more goals than any United star in the top flight, and that could see Ruben Amorim make a move for his signature. Report: Liam Delap will cost Man United £40 million. The striker has been in superb form this season. The report from the Eye suggests that United's priority in terms of recruitment now appears to be players in their early 20s with huge potential, with Patrick Dorgu from Lecce being a prime example of that after his arrival in the January transfer market. That could extend into strikers, despite their woes with inexperienced strikers in the final third, such as Rasmus Højlund and Joshua Xerxes. And with that in mind, the Red Devils are keen on Delap after his superb spell at Ipswich. It's thought that the striker will cost close to £40 million, with Chelsea also keen on his services, though sales may have to come first as a result of avoiding profit and sustainability rule sanctions. The report further states that with minimal money headed out in January and guaranteed income from installed transfers due, there isn't any risk of a PSR breach before the June 30th deadline. Though if the squad is due a Real revamp, that could see United sell before they opt for a move for Delap. The former City star notched his 10th top-flight goal of the season against Aston Villa over the weekend as he continues to enjoy an incredible debut campaign in the top flight for the Tractor Boys, which led to him being called exceptional by former Premier League stalwart Glenn Murray. And, if Kieran McKenna's men are to have any chance of survival, Delap will need to be fit and fighting for the remainder of their run-in to continue the fairy tale story that is unraveling in East Anglia. Man United flop Antony out for revenge after aiming subtle dig at Ruben Amorim. Antony has turned over a new leaf at Real Betis after struggling to get in the team at Manchester United, with the Brazilian netting 3 times in 4 games for the La Liga team. Antony is seeking revenge at Real Betis after being sidelined by Manchester United, according to his new boss Manuel Pellegrini. The Brazilian has wasted little time making an impression at the La Liga club, netting 3 times in 4 games to banish memories of his struggles at Old Trafford. Antony managed just 135 minutes in the Premier League this season, failing to make a single start. In fact, he's already managed 234 minutes from just 3 matches for Betis. After earning the trust of ex-Manchester City boss Pellegrini, Antony has shown glimpses of his old self, the player United thought they were getting when they paid Ajax £85 million for his services in 2022. Pellegrini said he couldn't understand why Antony failed to deliver at United, and said he was on a path of revenge to redeem himself with Betis. He said, "The most important thing has been his attitude and his self-criticism. If they paid that much money for him, it is because he is a player of a great level, who for reasons unknown to me was not able to perform as expected at Manchester United. It is a revenge on himself to show that he is a much more mature player. I have spoken a lot with him to make him calm, without wanting to show great things, but to keep it simple. He is a great player who does important things for the team, and I hope he continues at that level until the end of the season because he will help us a lot." It came after Antony appeared to make a dig at Amorim after his arrival at Betis by claiming he was finally happy again after he played very little under the Portuguese boss, despite working hard. "I wasn't playing much, but I've been working hard. I needed to be happy with myself. The best version of being happy with myself is the most important thing. I played very little in Manchester, but I'm grateful to them and also to the coach who spoke to me. He added, "The most important thing is that I have found myself again. But when I say that I found myself here, I'm happy. The people are like us in Brazil. The sun helps a lot. I'm very happy here. I wake up every day with a smile, and that's very important." Thanks for watching the full video.